Good evening. Eczema is a skin condition that can affect both children and adults. Children that develop eczema may develop red, dry, and itchy patches on their skin that results from inflammation. Whereas there is no cure for eczema, it can be controlled and managed by proper treatment and skin care. To help us on this topic tonight, we have Dr. Penina Kitili, who is a pediatrician and also a dermatologist. We are also privileged to have Rachel Ogola, a parent with children who have eczema. She's also the founder and CEO of Eczema Society of Kenya. You can start engaging with us on tonight's topic about eczema in children by WhatsApping us on 0708 222 that is 0708 222 323, or our SMS line 22232. Remember, we are live on Facebook and YouTube via the handle at Hope TV Kenya. Good evening and welcome to Health Check this beautiful week. My name is Grace Mutisa. As always, glad to be with you. Looking forward to hearing your questions regarding eczema in children. Allow me to turn to my right and invite our guest to tonight's show. Good evening, ladies.
Evening.
How are you doing? Okay. My immediate right, introduce yourself. Tell us a bit about yourself and what you do.
Thank you. My name is Rachel Ogola. I'm an advocate of the High Court of Kenya, and I'm also the chairperson of Eczema Society of Kenya, which I'm also the founder. I'm a mom, and I'm happy to be here.
Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much, Rachel. Karibu sana. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm Dr. Penina Kitili. I'm a pediatrician and a dermatologist. I have been working with the Kenyatta National Hospital, where I served for some 33 years. Right now I'm retired from public service, and I'm running my office, private practice in Nairobi Hospital. That's where I work in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome, welcome, Dr. Penina and Rachel. So, Dr. What is eczema when you refer it to children?
Now, generally, eczema is not just one type. Eczemas are many. We have eczema which comes from the person's body, meaning it has an element of genetic inheritance. That's another word for the same. And we have others which are brought by things from our environment. And these ones are like allergies, maybe to things like a watch, maybe some plants. The moment your body touches whatever plant that one is sensitive to, they get an eczema patch. There are many, many things. Think of anything in the environment. And if you are a person who is allergic to it, that's it, you will get some eczema from outside. But the common ones in children, whereby a parent will tell you, yeah, this thing has been there since birth, tends to be the genetic type from the individual's body.
So I would like you to help us define it. You've shared with us the different types of eczemas that are there. So what is eczema?
Eczema, basically, you would talk of inflammation of a particular kind, because inflammations can be from different things. Inflammation on the skin, yeah, and presents in quite a typical manner, whether it is from the environment or from inside the person's body. The skin actually of the two groups is different. In the sense, the inborn type, you always have, almost always, there is no No, 100%, of course, when it comes to science and medicine. So you find a child born and then after a few months, or even from birth, they get red patches on their cheeks. That's the commonest site where it starts. And with the time, it goes with the rest of the body. It can go to any part of the body. We have no control as to what part it will move to. So I've described the most common in children. And for sure, we have also some group, a small group of those patients who continue with it as adults. So there we are in terms of that kind of eczema.
Okay.
The other ones who react, actually, their skins are quite normal. Maybe I should have mentioned that for inborn type, we have issues with the skin. The skin is not as normal as of these other people who have no eczema. And there is scientifically some abnormality within the skin. The barrier, the top part of the skin has issues which are genetic.
So those issues, like how would it appear? Let the viewer say, I think I've seen something in my skin. Could it be eczema? Are you able to describe it, Daktari?
Commonly, and it's almost like always, it has to be itchy. If that part you have is not itchy, you cannot call it eczema. That's the main symptom that you will almost always be told. The skin is itchy, it is dry, and tends to change color a bit to a bit darker. But with the medication anyway, we manage to get the skins back to normal.
Okay, thank you. Let's get to Rachel Ogola. You know, you are a parent who you have children, you know, who have eczema, and you're running the society, the Eczema Society in Kenya. How did you discuss this organization?
Thank you. So when my son was born, this was my first child. I remember his skin was very dry at birth and very dry and peeling. Yeah.
Yes.
So obviously I was told, we use virgin olive, then it will go away at some point. Like the skin will normalize at some point. So we went on and on and on. The skin continued getting drier. Then 6 weeks later, he developed a rash on his back. So the rash was very itchy. So it would itch like moving. You know, he can't use his hands at that point. So he's just like lying on the bed and itching. So then the itch just continued. It worsened. So it moved from the back and then came to the face, came to the neck. Then, oh my God, the rash was all over and the boy was itchy. So we went back to the pediatrician. We were referred to a skin specialist. Then it's at that point we were told this is eczema. And because at that point, you know, he was not taking anything. He was on full-time breastfeeding.
Yes.
Yeah, he was on full-time breast milk. So I was told, okay, you need to eliminate some things from your food because they're also triggers for the boy. Then, oh my God, drama started. You know, like eliminating. I eliminated fish. I eliminated even cow milk. We started taking camel. You know, at that time, Nakumat was stocking camel. And it was very expensive.
Yes.
Oh my God. So I started eliminating almost everything. And you know, I need milk also, so I need to feed well.
Yes.
Then I noticed also when I take like citrus fruits like pineapple and what's this? Akina pineapple, that line of
Orange,
those
lemon,
orange,
those sides,
yes,
yeah.
yes, passion. Then I noticed that when I take those also the itch worsens. But now it was, of course, we got rid of most of the bedding that we had because most of it was fleece, like the blankets or fleece blankets, you know. So we had to get cotton, you know. Oh my God, it was drama. So I remember you know, and then also there's a frustration. You feel like, hey, this doctor didn't tell me enough. how come the medication is not working? So again, 2 weeks later, we moved to another dermatologist. 2 weeks later, we are told another theory. Like it was theory after theory after theory. So we moved to another one who did some words, like he was bandaged and all that. Then I remember when we were going to see all these doctors, I would meet moms at the waiting bay.
Yes.
And all of us, our babies are looking the same. Their necks are so dry and they have, like, they have the same, and then they're just itching nonstop. So, like when you talk to each other, when you interact, you realize that all of you are just like, you're in a place where it's guesswork.
Yeah.
I'm eliminating this, I am doing this, I don't know what's the trigger. There's no, there's no specific thing to information to hold on to, Yeah, even the medication today is this one, tomorrow it is changed, tomorrow. So, and then, of course, the frustration. Everyone tells you, I didn't sleep all night. I've not slept for weeks. I quit my job. I can't stay with a nanny. All these frustrations. Yeah. And all of us were just, we were going through the same story. So it's at that point I figured, hey, I think let me start a platform where we can share information,
yes.
we can interact, we can find each other, people with the same story, people who are relating. Yeah. So that's how I started Eczema Society of Kenya.
Okay.
Yes.
And that helped you with your first child. You've mentioned you have 2 children.
Yes, I have 2
and
children.
Both have eczema.
Yes.
What's the story of your second child?
Yeah. So the second child, the first child, now it was so dramatic because when I was pregnant, we traveled home to the village a lot because we were building at that point. So, of course, there was that cultural theory. Oh, my God. There was that theory of why were you traveling home? You see, people looked at you a certain way. This is witchcraft. Oh, my God. And at some point, I started even believing it, to some extent, because I'd never heard of eczema before.
Yes.
Yeah, I come from a family of allergies, but eczema, no, I'd never heard of eczema before. So I started believing, for real, it could be. Maybe we need to have this, gosh, yes. So, when the second child came, I had already gone through the roller coaster of emotions. I'd already gone through all this. So it was easier.
Yes.
It was easier to deal with her than for the boy. Okay. For the boy, to be honest, for the first 1 year, I almost went into depression. I almost literally went into depression because at some point, even visitors come, they can't eat.
Yes.
They're just like, Aki, we can't eat because the child is just scratching, and the skin all over, when you sweep the carpet, on the dustpan, it is the skin or whatever, it's like the dust from the skin that you're picking.
Yes.
Yes. We tried everything. You try everything. Everything you're told by the doctors you do, it does not work.
Okay.
So you're like, oh my God, okay, what is it now that is not happening,
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'd love to come back and ask you when did you get the breakthrough now to know, okay, settle down, Rachel, the babies are going to be okay. We're talking about eczema in children, and I'm hosting Dr. Penina Kitili, a pediatrician and a dermatologist. I'm also having Rachel Ogola. She's a parent with 2 children who have eczema, and she's the founder of Eczema Society of Kenya. Do you have any questions regarding today's topic? Our SMS line is 22232. That is 22232. You can also WhatsApp us your question. Our WhatsApp line is 0708 222 323. That is 0708 222 323. We'll be getting to your questions and comments as we proceed on with the program. So, Dr. Penina, just listening to Rachel, a first-time mom, and all the stress, and then the myths come in. And I'm sure as mamas, we bring children to you, we have so many myths about eczema. What are some of the myths you've had?
Definitely, the one she has alluded to is the commonest, whereby you hear mtoto ameangaliwa na macho mbaya. I mean, that is the sentence as it were. Yeah. Without translating into English, let's talk of our Swahili. Other than that, I don't think I know of any other serious myths. Of course, the other things are, as she said, they used to travel a lot. The other things that come in is people imagining in the village, you are probably reacting to the water. Yeah, that has come up with many patients or parents with their children. And this is just different diseases, given that those kind of myths and explanations. However, other than that, of course, we know there is a lot of genetics in it. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
So what are the treatments are there on offer for children suffering from eczema?
Can I go a bit deeper before going to treatment?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah. Now, eczema, as I was saying, the skin barrier as an issue. And that is why they tend to react much more to things. They also tend to have what? To get infections much more than somebody who has a normal skin, because bacteria will go through some skin which is not obviously harmed, maybe no obvious injury, but the bacteria enter through somewhere to cause an infection, and therefore you will find some of these children have quite a bit of, they develop quite a bit of bacterial infections, more of viral infections on the skin, and also fungal infections. However, other than that, I think it's good to know this other side of eczema and genes.
Yes.
We have a number of diseases which are inherited together within a family tree together with the eczema. So also for us, before even we go to treatment, we have to know all those details. And the details are, we have the eczema, we have asthma, we have what is called hay fever, and we have what is called allergic rhinitis. Those are 4 diseases which are inherited as a set of 4 within a family tree. And it doesn't mean one person gets all of them. Occasionally, we may see some of 2 of those 4 diseases. And you may even find, actually not you may, usually you will find that not all, like in a family, not everybody gets the eczema. Okay, there are some who are perfectly okay. They don't even have 8 of those 4. Then it can also skip a generation, such that you will not get history of anybody who has had eczema or those asthma, allergic rhinitis, hay fever, nothing. However, we know from the criteria of how we make the diagnosis, of course, for us, we eventually arrive on that.
I want to ask before we get to the treatment, what's the correlation with these 4 conditions you've mentioned? What relationship do they have?
They are all together in the genetic mapping, such that if you have that genetic mapping, then the 4 of them are inherited as a set. They are all together.
So you can
Yeah.
have a child having 4 of them together or a combination of either.
We have seen patients with the 2. That's the commonest. Occasionally, you may find 3. I've not come along with a patient who has the 4 of them. Yeah.
Rachel, for your children, did you have any of, those combinations?
We don't have asthma, but we have close relatives who have asthma. Yeah, but them they didn't get the asthma. They have the eczema only.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So let's get to the treatment, Daktari. Is it treatable? Is there hope if you have a child who has eczema?
It's controllable, if I may start with that word. Going back to like our case, our firstborn had eczema right from birth. However, we know there is a range where most of them tend to develop eczema, usually 3 months or 6 months. So that is the kind of age where it tends to start. Of course, there are those who will start early, like in our case, and there are those who will start later. commonly, as I said earlier, no, I think we were just generally talking about it, and commonly they start on the cheeks. You see a child with red cheeks, they are itchy, they are tiny, tiny pimples, which we call papules. And in the acute phase, when it is so much inflamed, it can also ooze some fluid. Once the patient or the baby, wherever, scratches, you will see the fluid oozing, and it might even bleed, such that what she went through is a situation where you are like, you wish you can tie these hands in one place. Some mothers, parents have even put on socks in the hands so that the child doesn't harm themselves. Sleep is a nightmare because when it is so itchy, and as I said, without itch, you can't call it eczema. So you will find them scratching in some manner, like you remove their clothing, and you will see the legs are just moving this way, you know, all the time throughout. That is the baby scratching eczema. Of course, these other areas, they are not so developed early in life for the hands to always reach and act so quickly like the way the legs do. So, in our treatment for eczema, number one, you have to help the skin as much as possible to get closer to normal using just the usual things. Moisturization, because remember we have said it tends to be dry.
Yeah.
So moisturization, which is important, very important. Now, as Margaret said, she had gone to many doctors, and everybody was changing whatever she had been given. Go to a third one, you get a new concoction. I want to believe it's just because you try this, if it doesn't work, you go to another, because we have several of them.
Yeah.
But there is one thing I always tell parents of my patients, which is now the side of science. When you apply something which is a cream or one which is a liquid, lotions and all those liquids, we all know them. Those two and a gel. There's also preparations of gel. So those three dry the skin.
Oh, really?
So you would be there really struggling to put your cream that you've been advised, and you find the child is not even getting better. It's even getting worse because the cream or the lotion is drying the skin. For patients with eczema, the best for them is what we call ointments. Ointments are the moisturizers which have the texture of petroleum jelly products. We know many. When you go to the supermarket and stand there, there are many from top to bottom.
Yes.
So petroleum jelly texture, we call them ointments.
Yes.
They tend to be better. Actually, not just better. That's what we use mainly for patients with eczema, some of us. Because they are the ones which moisturize the skin and it doesn't get dry. Of course, the other thing, so we have gone now into treatment,
Yes.
taking care of the skin, and you are using some ointment as a moisturizer. Other than that, there is also the washing the baby. We have some particular soaps which do not dry the skin. There are others which dry the skin so badly.
Yes.
And actually, you will find the patients, the parents, have been advised to use those ones which are wrong. So the moment they get to you, it's like, how could we be, gone to the extent of using the ones which are opposite of what is right? Okay, what does that mean? It means the particular soaps remove all the fat, all the oiliness on the skin. You remain with zero. The soaps we tend to advocate and give to such patients, they tend to remove just a quarter of the oiliness of the skin,
Yes.
such that it's not left dry. Normal bathing soaps are now in between. Okay?
Yes.
They are in between. So those are the two things basically about taking care of the skin. And in the same line of taking care of the skin, one should not keep on bathing the baby like several times in a day. Bathing them once is enough. Of course,
Once a day.
once a day is more than enough. Because occasionally you can even skip a day. By washing the baby, bathing the baby twice, thrice, it's not right. It still dries the skin because of the same that I've explained.
Yes.
Now we go to drugs. No, before we go to drugs, clothing. Such patients need natural materials, and therefore cotton,
Pure cotton.
pure cotton. That's what you would use on such babies. They react to quite a number of synthetics. So we advocate 100% cotton.
Yes.
Going to drugs, we are now going to the most feared medication by everybody. And they will talk about them from all corners. And these are the steroids. Steroids are the main, and I'll quote verbatim.
Yes.
Steroids are the mainstay treatment for eczema worldwide. Mainstay treatment for eczema worldwide. Now, I had mine, other than that verbatim one I've said. Mine is, the difference is the particular steroid the doctor chooses for the patient.
Yes.
Because for those we use for application, we have a whole list of about 30 of them. The strongest, in between, all the way to the weakest.
Yes.
That's why I have said I'll add mine off. The difference is what the particular steroid the doctor chooses.
Okay.
Now, going back to the same, and ask the doctors, dermatologists have to know that list, and we know it. People, doctors in other fields, of course, it's not their business knowing that list. So you will find even when they are choosing a pediatrician, what to give, they may just write what as you are thinking about what do I do, and then one of them comes into your mind. You may just write that, okay, and without knowing the strength.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So then now we have taken care of the skin, the parents at home, and we have advised them how to handle eczema at home. So we end up now with the doctor who is choosing which steroid to use. For the very strong ones, we don't use them for long. And normally, the right thing to me to do is start with the one which will bring down the inflammation, that is the eczema part.
Yes.
Strong one, but for a very short period. When I'm doing it, I don't go beyond 2 weeks. It might be a week, 10 days. 14 days, no, you have to come back.
Okay.
I'll tell you what. When I see a patient who requires a strong steroid, there's a question I ask the parents. Are you able to bring this baby back in 2 weeks' time without fail? It's like they are signing consent.
Yes.
So I have to ask them that one. so that I can be sure. I'll pick a strong one within 2 weeks, 1 week, 14, 10 days there, I will stop it and go down on the strength. So you start somewhere, depending on how the skin looks like that very time. Then you go down and you tend to settle on the weakest that keeps the condition of the eczema well controlled.
Thank you.
If we ever go to the mildest,
Yes.
it is almost like a moisturizer,
Yes.
and that time we smile with the parents and the patient.
Wow. Very informative there, Dr. Penina. Thank you so much. Allow us to have a quick break, our dear viewer. When we come back, we'll be sampling some of the questions you've written to us on 22232 and our WhatsApp line 0708 222 323, and at Hope TV Kenya, that's on Facebook and YouTube. Any question you have regarding our topic of today, eczema in children, drop it there and Dr. Penina will be glad to answer you. And when we come back, we'll want to hear Rachel's story. You know, Dr. has talked a lot. So was the diagnosis that easy? What was the lowest moment, you know, in the journey of eczema with her children? Keep it right here, Top TV, Look and Live. We'll be right back.
The Kenyatta University Christian Union Alumni Fellowship, in partnership with Hope Media, invites you to an Alumni Sunday service on 12th of February 2023 at the Kenyatta University Amphitheatre from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. The theme of the service is Rebuilding the Walls, drawn from Nehemiah chapter 2 verse 17, and the minister of the word will be the Bishop of the Christ is the Answer Ministries, Reverend Callisto Odede. This event will be broadcast live on Hope TV from 11 a.m. All are welcome.
Every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Spotlight.
Do you feel like they are in a place where they can effect a Barack Obama moment?
When you hear the word of God and you hear Jesus is speaking,
Real talk on real issues.
You know, the Bible says faith without works is dead.
The truth of the gospel that will survive the time is not a health and wealth gospel.
When there is time to harmonize and bring one composite amendment.
With idealistic, thought-provoking guests.
So people come to be serviced, to be encouraged, to be empowered.
When the storm is over, you desire the closeness you have with God.
Hosted by Reverend Edward Furi. Hope TV is now available on GoTV Channel 103, Zuku Channel 873, Signet Channel 817, and Star Times Channel 026. Enjoy our uplifting content and family-friendly programming anytime. Hope TV, you look and live.
Welcome back to Health Check right here, Top TV, Look and Live. My name is Grace Mutiso. Today our focus is eczema in children, you know, and I know as a mom, moms are usually worried. I don't know about dads, but I know dads also get worried at times about your children. So do you have any question regarding eczema? Talk to us on our SMS line 22232, that is 22232. Our WhatsApp line is 0708 222 323, 0708 222 323. The numbers are right at the bottom of your screen somewhere here. And for you watching us on YouTube and Facebook, the handle is at Top TV Kenya, and you can drop your question on the comment section. Let us know where you're watching us from and the question that you have. I promise we'll get back to Rachel and ask, so what was the most traumatizing, you know, season in this journey, you know, working with your children who have eczema?
Thank you. I'm glad Doc has spoken about steroids, and at least I've even gotten a feel of it now. I remember there's a time when my baby was about 6 months old. There's a prescription you were given. So my husband took it to the chemist for the person to mix it. There's a concoction rather. So, so the attendant refused. She said, no, this one for a 6-month-old baby, apana. This is too much. The percentage of steroid is too high. We can't give it to that child, to that baby. Oh my God! And at that point, I was like, "Wait, we are doomed. If this is what we've been giving, then this is a problem." So, and then I remember there's a time when he was a bit older, maybe just a bit, almost a year or less. We went to a certain hotel, and then he was swimming. Yes. A big hotel. This is a big hotel. So he was swimming, and then like he had, you know, like there's a way. We were at the coast, so his skin was very dry and looking a certain way. So everybody got out of the water.
Oh my!
Yes, everyone got out of the water. They're like, why? You know, and looking at you and saying things. Yeah. My God, you know, that's when that one caught me. But I just let him swim. He just swam. He just swam alone. Like
he enjoyed.
Yeah, we just swam. But you know, it's at that point I felt, wow, honestly, there's a lot that needs to be done. There's a lot of stigma here. There's lack of information. You know, you can't blame people because there's no information. Yes. They don't know what this is about. People still believe this is transmittable, you know. So things like that, you know, yeah. So those are some of my lowest moments. Yes. I have moments where my nannies will say, just leave me this baby and then let me wash it for you. Like, you know, like, scrub off, you know, they want to scrab the skin off. They're coming from a good place, you know. They're coming from a good place, but you see what that means. Yeah. So those are some, and also there are moments where the baby is so flared, the baby's skin is so like it's oozing water and all that, and it's so bad. It's like caught an infection. So like even putting them in the water, in the bath water, and it's just blood, you know. Yeah. So those are some of my really low moments. But with time, you know, we got, I keep saying we got a working plan, we got a plan. Yes, yeah, we found our way somehow. Not perfect, but we got to know this, if you do this, this happens. If you take with this kind of food, this happens to you. If you wear this kind of clothing, if you go out on the grass and things like that, some certain things, the flares happen to you. So with time, we've come to, and also the like Doc said, yes, the cream we use, the moisturizer we use, we've discovered the one that is the one as of now, you know. So the one that is the one is what we've discovered, and it works for us. Yes. Yeah. So with that, we have, you know, we have found some, you know, what can I say? We have found some plan, you know. We just say it's a plan. We hope the plan does not change at some point.
I hear you.
Because, you know, we've been through that situation where we are told 5 years, this will be over at 5 years. Yeah. Then 5 years comes 0. 7 years, 0. 10 years, here we still are. You know, 12, we are still there. Yeah. You know, so we hope, we keep hoping, but we stopped putting ourselves in that position where we just want it to go away. Okay. Yeah, we just learn to manage it. You know,
you've accepted.
We've accepted, and we've learned to just manage it. Because when you give yourself that anxiety, you want it to go away, it's not going away. You know, it also puts you in a situation where you're even giving the baby uncertainty. You know, like you're giving them, they're also anxious. They're also wondering, why is this not going away? Also, yeah. So yeah, you just find a plan and remain with it. Okay. Yeah.
How did you manage school? You know, you just gave a scenario of whatever.
Yeah.
What about school? When they went to school, how was that for them? Yeah. How did you help them?
Yes. So school, we spoke with the teachers a lot, all the time, letting them understand what eczema is and what happens. These are some of the things we can't do, the do's and the don'ts. And then with time, they just, you know, and now we go to a good school where the teachers are cooperative and they're understanding. Yeah. So even like we don't get bullying, we don't get nini. And also as a society, we work a lot also with the school. Yes. Yeah. Actually, the kids' school is one of the schools we work with a lot. We collaborate with a lot. We take our anti-bullying programs there. We talk a lot to the kids. We show them what it means to be nice to people who have eczema, what eczema is, the teachers, the coaches. Yeah. One thing also, the coaches are also very, like in a school, Coaches are important people to know, to understand what eczema is, because skin conditions affect kids differently. And you know now, sports attire, especially swimming and all that, there's a way you have to dress. So the coaches are very important people to talk to about this. Talk to the coach of your school, talk to the teachers, non-teaching staff as well. Let them understand. Yeah, and also the uniform. Some of the uniforms they wear are not user-friendly for the skin.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's a way at some point we were in trousers for so long. Yeah, and then I remember at some point, like the sweater, the sweater we had to put like a lining inside, a cotton lining inside.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah, you just go to a local tailor. Yeah, you just go to a local tailor, have the lining done in cotton material, because you can't change the uniform.
True.
Yeah, or get a, I don't know, you somehow, I don't know, this, even the fleece, you know, the fleece jacket is not, yeah. So, and also the tracksuits, you know, just get somehow, you get somewhere you can fix it, you can fix, yeah. The socks, we've not done the school, the socks. We try to get the cotton socks, which is not easy to find also, unless you're getting second hand, yeah. But for a long time, we didn't go to school with normal socks, the normal, you know, the normal stripped socks. Yeah, most of the time we will get cotton ones, which are, we will just make a local arrangement.
Okay.
Yes.
Before we get to Daktari to help us answer a few questions, what support do you give to parents who join your organization?
Yeah. So, of course, there's the interaction bit. You talk to each other. Someone posts a question. People are there to answer you. And also, there's we have we have volunteers who are counselors and therapists.
Yes.
Yeah. So they help a lot. They help a lot because there's so much. People go through a lot. People can post. There are people who say so much. There are those who come to the inbox and say so much. There's so much happening to families. There's so much happening to caregivers. There's couples have even separated. Others, women have been abandoned with children. You know, their children who've been refused admission to certain schools because a parent or parents will react. Yeah. So we give a lot of psychosocial support from the volunteers we have. And also, we have friendly partners who we collaborate with, and they give us most of these creams for donation.
Yes.
So we give them to to needy parents. Yeah, but their creams are very expensive. I want to mention that before time goes away, because I may not get time before I forget. Creams are very expensive. I know Doc knows that. These creams are expensive, my God. Like for us, my kids use the 400 jar, and they use like 2 times a month. You know, like one jar can last like 2 weeks, depending with how the situation is. Like now it's too hot, they really need it. And sometimes even when it's too cold, they really need it. So probably you can do 2 jars in a month per child. A jar will cost you maybe even not less than 2K. A good cream is expensive. So creams, okay, they range up of 1,500 to even 10K, even 8K, depending with which one you're using.
Yes.
Yeah, but the average is say 15 to 4,000 apple, but they're expensive. Affordability is. Yeah, that's why even as Eczema Society of Kenya, we have a petition. We have an ongoing petition that where we are trying to petition the government, to lobby to petition the government through KRA to waive taxes on creams and emollients used for treatment of skin conditions.
Yes.
Yeah. So we are trying to have that, and then we will forward our findings to the CS.
Yes.
And then of health, we see how far we can go with it. It has gathered quite some good attention. We hope to gather very good numbers so that we have, you know, we get some good ground for discussion.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you know, see, Nahomicha, you're watching us, please, we are coming. Thank you.
Amen.
So, you know, actually, as Rachel was talking, I just remembered I had a friend who the doctor prescribed, she needed to go and get that ointment. Getting to the counter, they told her, we can't give you that, that's cosmetic. And she was like, really? So just adding to what she's saying, they're expensive, and maybe the view of the pharmacist is different, so you have to pay cash because it's cosmetic, maybe insurance can't cover. Allow us though to sample a few questions that have come through before time catches up with us. On our SMS line 22232, one of our viewers, you didn't tell us your name, you say, hi, my daughter is 7 years old. Around her right eye, it's itchy and dry. Every visit to a doctor, we get a different cream or eye drops. It clears and comes back almost immediately. Kindly help.
I want to respond to that like he's talking about eczema.
Yeah.
And just as I said, we use the steroids. There are many, and they are of different strengths. That may explain why when he goes, he's given something different. Just as I had said earlier, you will find, depending on the seriousness, severity of the eczema, you will find somebody picking a steroid which is strong, next time weaker, you know, going down, eh? So that explains why when they go to the doctor, they are given a new prescription. And then on the other hand, children who have eczema tend also to have like itchiness of their eyes. And you tend to find the eye, around the eyes, the skin is dark. So maybe those are some of the things the parent is asking about. And the best really is to be seen by a dermatologist and then be advised. And all the questions that the parent has can be answered during that session of the consultation with the baby there, with the child there, so that one, the doctor can pick exactly what the issue is.
Okay. Another writer says, hi ladies, what's the difference between eczema and urticaria? Something like urticaria. I live with that condition and it itches a lot. How can it be managed? It is easy to parent a child with urticaria if you have it. Is it easy to parent a child with urticaria if you have it yourself? Ogola does not have eczema, it's her children. Then so about this is Mike from Naivasha, has also a question for you, and how can they join the organization? Maybe we could start with Daktari. What is urticaria, I believe?
Yeah, urticaria and eczema are not related at all. Urticaria is a reaction on the skin. And here we are actually talking about two types. There is one particular form of urticaria that children get a lot when they are younger. And it goes into the way the body reacts to something. The particular child's body reacts to the what's the word? The thing that they are reacting to.
Yes.
Touching their skin. It could be grass, it could be far from a pet, you know, such things in the environment. And these ones develop pimples. That is the commonest in children in terms of urticaria. We actually call it papular urticaria.
Okay.
It's different from another form of urticaria whereby it's still an allergy, but in adults and in the older children, they present with that itchiness. Once they scratch, a bump forms, a wheal. Yeah. For the people who are light-skinned, it's quite red.
Yes.
I'm sure yours would be red.
Light-skinned.
Yours would be red, and that's the way adults react.
Okay.
Babies react a bit differently from adults. When it is treated, and basically here we are talking of antihistamines because it's a reaction to something that is causing the bump.
Yes.
It actually disappears without leaving any mark at at all.
Wow.
Papular urticaria in children, that one leaves a mark.
Okay.
You would see where the pimple was. So that's the difference.
Okay.
Mm.
Is it easy to parent a child with that condition?
Yeah, we have many patients with the urticaria, so one has to check as to what is causing it.
Okay.
If you were ever to discover what is causing it, everybody, the parents, the doctor is quite happy because the treatment is very easy. One word, avoid.
Avoid.
Just avoid.
Wow, interesting. Sawa. And Mike had also asked, how can anyone interested to join Eczema Society of Kenya, how can they join in? He's in Naivasha.
Yeah. Thank you, Mike. Thank you for watching. We have our social media pages. You can go to Facebook and check Eczema Society of Kenya, Twitter, Society Eczema KE, Instagram, Eczema Society of Kenya. So when you join, you will get a form to fill for membership, but you must not be. You don't have to be a member of to register to be a registered member to be a member.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can just join the social media pages. You just join without registration. But if you want to register so that you can benefit from most of our other activities, it is good for you to register.
Okay.
Yes.
Another one asking, I react a lot to cold and water through itching. They just ended it there. Maybe they want you, Dr. to comment as you think about that. One of the other listeners writes and says, I have eczema as a grown-up, though not severe. I get itchy patches, pain on my legs and behind the ears. When it gets itchy, I scratch until the skin breaks. I also sneeze a lot sometimes. A doctor told me the allergies are related. It is not funny. Can imagine how a child suffers. I think that's sort of a comment. So reaction, cold, sneezing, is that related to eczema?
But that is well covered in the group of diseases that I mentioned earlier.
Okay.
That is sneezing is the allergic rhinitis, which I mentioned. Yeah, and there are some people actually, when they wake up in the morning, they are congested, they are sneezing, and I keep saying it's like an alarm for other people to know so-and-so has woken up. Yeah, and then it goes away without even treatment. Yeah, what else did he ask?
I think they're just commenting, screeching, and they're just saying they have it as an adult, so imagining the pain that a child has to go through that comes with eczema. Somebody else writes and says, Teacher Mary Odalo from Fafu writes and says, hi Rachel, thank you. You helped our school children on this skin condition. They are so much encouraged and trauma no longer there. Appreciating you for the great work you are doing. This one says, my son has eczema. It keeps disappearing and coming back, triggered by animal protein. I have protein if I consume, and he breastfeeds. He is a year old. We cannot feed him with animal protein. Is there a risk of deficiency out of lack of protein?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. I'll give two examples. Before I give the two examples, clinicians, physicians, pediatricians, all those are names of doctors, yeah?
Yes.
There are many who will say eczema. Once your child has eczema, avoid all animal proteins. So they talk very easily about eggs. Oh, he ate an egg over the weekend, and that's why I'm here.
Yes.
They talk about cow milk. Yes. They talk about all those other proteins, red meat, white meat, all those. They are no-go zone according to many parents, because that is what they've been told.
Yes.
And my take on this has always been that is wrong. Because this child is growing, the brain needs to develop a deficiency of proteins occur, it means the brain will not develop to its maximum IQ because there are deficiencies. Now, I give you two examples. And one of them was a child who was brought to my office. This child had been stopped from all proteins. That we are talking of a child who is like 1.5 years, 2 years there. I can't remember the exact age, but those, you know, they're very young. Yeah. Of course, walking, that is why I'm talking of above 1 year. And this child had been stopped all proteins for a whole 7 months. The parents, I don't know whether to say they were having a easy time with the child, but for me, this child, they would hold that child, and the child is just there. It's just like this glass of water. No movement, no nothing. The way you know small children play. Yes. So that child just used to be like that. Just hold them, and they will be like that, not even crying, or even looking like they are so attentive to what is happening, so that they, you know, most of them, when they see the environment, they start being a bit sensitive and may cry if you are wearing something white. So I advise the parents, we start all protein once again. And in the starting, I told them we do what? We go one at a time. If today you have given an egg, you are not going to give another protein. Watch the skin. Is there any issue? No. Tomorrow, go to another protein. Like that, like that. You'll be able to identify whether there is any reaction to proteins and which particular one, if you do one at a time. Okay. Okay? Yeah. We started this child on all proteins. She never, it was a girl, she never even reacted to any. Within a few months, that child was the noisiest in my clinic, running around as usual. Okay. The way we know children. My second one, because this thing is actually worldwide. I believed it one time. I was in a conference which was in the UK, and there was a dermatologist, a white, a mzungu, presenting a case of kwashiorkor due to stop all proteins. That gave me the confidence that it's actually worldwide. If somehow out there they are seeing kwashiorkor, a child going into kwashiorkor. It's not too long ago. It was, I remember it very well. It was 2018. I was shocked because that is what made me now know this thing is worldwide. It's the same thing, and it's wrong. Okay. Totally wrong.
So do not be
because really, like she said, there were those things she would eat and breastfeed the child, and then you find the child getting itchy. Yeah. Citrus fruits, I picked it quite well when you were discussing about it. And that we know, long time ago, many years ago, there was a theory of stop all foods that start with a C. Yeah, C, the alphabet, the way you know them. Stop citrus fruits, all the colas, so all the sodas. What was the cheese? Another C. I can't remember which other one because they are so outdated, and it was wrong.
So what I'm hearing you say, Daktari, don't be quick to stop, you know, giving your child whichever type of food could not be related to eczema. Just seek advice, medical advice. True. Yeah. We have some few seconds to go, but I want to appreciate you, Marion, for watching us from Naivasha. Thank you so much for your comments right there. And Sue from Facebook, Sue Musandu, thank you. Just saying the cost of creams and ointments are very high. Serikali needs to do something to help our children living with eczema. And fortunately, that's all the time we had for the show today. Your parting shot in a second before we go to Daktari in another second.
Oh, yeah, I want to say that eczema is not transmittable. I don't know which medical word to use, but it does not transmit from one person to another. So that myth should be stopped. Stigma against people with eczema should also stop. Treat people well. Don't put them in a situation where they have to hide or kids are unable to go to school because of the way they look. It's not good for people to lose their jobs because of their skin condition. Let them get treatment, let them manage their skin. It is okay to be sick.
Okay.
Yeah, but at some point this goes away, just like the doctor said. Also, I want to appeal to the government. I'm saying this again. I want to appeal to the government to waive taxes on creams and emollients used for eczema treatment and management.
Okay.
Not only eczema, for all for all skin conditions, basically, because people are suffering. The burden encompassed on families is very heavy.
Okay.
And this is not fair. Also, NHIF does not cover, NHIF and insurances do not cover most of the treatments, of the creams that we're given at the hospitals, the moisturizers. Let me just use moisturizer because I don't say creams.
Yeah.
So please, I'm appealing to the government to do something on that.
Okay.
Yeah. Let them find a way that insurances and even NHIF as a universal health cover.
Yes. Sawa.
Cover for this treatment.
Thank you.
Yes.
The director is saying, Grace, you need to get out. Sorry. Daktari.
I'll go to the point of parents getting to know that we don't have a marker to tell you this eczema which is started on this part of the body, next area to get an eczema patch will be where.
Yes.
We are not able to do that. Number two, we don't have markers to say this patient presenting this way is eczema will go after so long. There are no markers for that. Now you understand when we talk of genes, we can't dictate it to the genes. And unfortunately, because of things that also go into what she is asking the government, as we have very little money for researches in developing countries, not just Kenya alone. And like we only quote one local study, which is of long time ago.
We have to wrap up, Daktari, unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just wrap it up.
Yeah.
So what would you appeal for?
Whereby by 5 to 7 years, 80% of the children had come out of eczema.
Okay.
That's the only study in our Kenya, in our country. Yeah.
So more funds for
research.
Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry I had to rush you up because we have to call it a day. Thank you, Dr. Penina Kitilia, pediatrician and dermatologist, and also appreciating Rachel Ogola, parent living with children with eczema and founder Eczema Society of Kenya. I hope you've learned something the way I have learned, and I wish you a blessed, blessed evening. Let's do this again next week on Tuesday, same time, same station. Of course, different guests and different topics. Keep it right here at Hope TV, Look and Live. Up next, Newswatch and the remaining part of the programming. My name is Grace Mutiso. Have a blessed night. Shalom. God bless.